I did not expect this question to evolve into this.
We put seasoning in the flour.
Now you're making me look bad. We cutting all this out.
No, we're not. You didn't shower yesterday? You were trying to shower again? Like you doing me like I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I love the fried food. And so does my dad bod. Absolutely. I can do a bang up job on this, but I'm not gonna, because I'm not getting canceled today. I don't know, race hasn't really ever been like a difficult subject for us to navigate or anything.
We're constantly having conversations and hearing each other's perspectives.
Welcome back! Today we're gonna do something a little bit different than what you're used to for us. We're not traveling, we're not experiencing new things. We're gonna do a sit down Q&A about.
So we are going to talk about our interracial relationship. We haven't really discussed it or talked about it on our channel yet. It's not really like the focus of what our content is, but obviously it's hard to ignore, and we do experience things a little bit differently than a couple who's not in an interracial relationship. So we thought we'd answer some questions.
Yeah, the average Joes.
Yeah. Based on our relationship.
And we're gonna have some fun with it.
Yeah.
You know us, we like to entertain.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, ready.
Let's do it.
Okay, so first question is, how did we meet and what were our first impressions of each other?
I'm gonna answer this one first. I've been so excited to reveal. All right, so the year is 2020. COVID is brand new to the world. The whole George Floyd incident has just happened, and we just both happen to be a part of the DC Air National Guard. And so, if you recall, there was a whole thing in DC. I mean, there was things in many cities, but there was a whole thing in DC, and all of the National Guard, Army and Air Force, was brought in. And I remember that night, they called us in, and we learned how to do like riot shields and other such things that a bunch of aircraft mechanics had no business doing. But anyway, yeah, I think what were we, 2 days in?
Yeah.
We were like 2 days in. We're in the same chalk of 60 people, and we just happened to be sitting around and waiting. Normal military stuff.
Something.
Yeah. But one of my friends came over, and I don't even know what she said to you, but she took an interest in Keyshana. And I got a little bit nosy because, I had seen Keyshana sitting there, and, I was a little bit interested. So anyway, a friend struck up a conversation. I inserted myself, and that's how we met. Mm-hmm. And, you want to expand on that?
No, what was your first impression of me?
Oh, my first impression, obviously, this is a very beautiful woman. She has a very beautiful smile, and although it's hard to light up an entire, it's called the Armory, it's really basically just a big gymnasium, like she had the smile that could do that, and so there she was, Keyshana in all her glory.
So you thought I had a pretty smile.
You had a pretty smile, you had a pretty face, you had a pretty everything.
Yeah, pretty much that was my recollection of how we first met. His friend, I didn't know her. She was very outgoing. She just liked to approach people. I think I was by myself, just hanging out because we didn't have an assignment. And I was relatively new to the unit. I hadn't gotten to know anyone really outside of my shop. So I think she just started talking to you and me, and
I'm pretty sure she came over and talked to you.
She came over to talk to me. You guys started talking, and I just remember being like, "Oh, he's cute." Like, but you had like this, like you were kind of quiet. Like you had this like mystery to you, and I was like, "Oh," like I was just a little interested in who you were. And
it's because I'm very uncomfortable without people. Like, if I don't know the people I'm with, I'm very uncomfortable. So that was the mystery.
Yeah, well, I thought you were just like very chill. And I'm very attracted to cool, calm, collected. So you were very much giving cool, calm, collected.
So yeah, that's how we met George Floyd. And then there's so many stories. We could do a whole video on that whole.
You get a little bit, yeah. You get a little bit of that story in our military series. So if you haven't watched it, go and check that out. I think the 4th video is really where we kind of get a deep dive into it.
Pro plug, great work.
So yeah, that was my first impression of Jamie, and
not the last.
We didn't really speak after that. We remained like friends, acquaintances after that for what, like 2 years, 2.5 years?
Yeah.
We saw each other in passing, but never really like spoke to each other. We said hi and bye.
With a smile.
And a smile, and that was about it.
Yeah. Were you nervous about introducing your partner to your family?
No. Being someone who's dated only white men for...
Only?
Yeah.
I know.
I was like, what, do you know something I don't? Being someone who's only dated white men and only brought home white men, not that there was a lot that I brought home. And also being younger, my parents knew who I was crushing on, and they were always white boys. So I wasn't really like hesitant or scared to bring him home to my parents. I will say the only thing was you were a little bit older than anyone that I've dated. So, I mean, that wasn't a concern for me, but it was like, I know my parents are gonna have something to say. But as far as race, no.
Also, I met your parents very accidentally.
Yeah, he met my parents when I was coming back from a deployment one time. Like he was meeting his people and greeting them. One
of those in passing times where we remained friends.
Yeah, and my parents picked me up and they had a conversation.
It went well.
Yeah.
It went so well that I remember like thinking to myself like, I'm pretty sure I just won over her parents and we're not even dating. We struck up a conversation of probably like 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, my parents were like...
suddenly her parents walked over and were like, are you like not gonna introduce us?
Who's your friend? And I'm like, oh. And then later my mom was like, you were just a smiling. And I'm like, okay, y'all nosy.
All right, next question.
Did race play a factor in your initial attraction to each other?
Not for me. I just saw a beautiful woman there. Yeah, I never dated a black woman. I never like approached a black woman. That's partly because I'm, a little shy. For me, it just happened. Like I looked at her, she was cute. She had that smile, and that was that. I wouldn't say race had any factor in it whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't think I looked at him and was like, yes, white man, done. Like it's not something I think about. But I know what I've been attracted to my whole life. So like it wasn't really a thought to me. It wasn't really like anything that crossed my mind. So I would say no, but I know other people are probably like, yeah, it played a factor for you because that's all you're attracted to. And I wouldn't say that's all. I'm gonna get canceled. I appreciate...
She's just never been in a serious relationship.
I've never been in a serious relationship with a white man, but
with somebody other than a white man.
I've never been in a serious relationship with anyone other than a white man, but I have, gone on dates and stuff.
She's the first woman I ever went on a date with that wasn't white.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's correct.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Just not black.
Again, never been in a serious relationship with a black woman.
Yeah.
It had always been white women. Next question. How do you talk about race within your relationship?
I think in any conversation, we like to hear each other out, and we love to like get into these deep conversations and hear each other's perspectives. And it's often the reason why we stay up so late
and get no
sleep. So, I mean, I think we approach it like any other debate or conversation that we have. We hear each other's perspective. We comment on it. We say we understand this person's perspective. If I have something that maybe he doesn't understand, or if I speak on something that he doesn't really understand, he'll let me know. I'll try to explain it from my perspective, and vice versa. So, yeah, it's very general.
Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to expand upon. I've always been a big believer in like you have to have different perspectives, and you have to try to put yourself in the shoes of those people and understand those perspectives. So I don't know, race hasn't really ever been like a difficult subject for us to navigate or anything.
No.
Just transparent and open.
Yeah. What's one racial issue or event that brought up a conversation between you two? Like a discussion?
Should I go first?
Sure.
Well, to keep it simple, I'll go back to George Floyd. There were, the DC Air National Guard is incredibly diverse, way more diverse than any unit I had been a part of previously. And being a part of the George Floyd response in DC, it wasn't even just a conversation between us. It was a conversation between everybody. Like, I had deeper conversations about race than I'd ever had before. And we had those conversations, whether it just be between me and you or as a part of a group.
Yeah. And I will say, like, when we got put on another mission together for January 6th, like
7 months later.
Yeah, that sparked up more conversation. And obviously, like, the climate of race in America today, like, we are constantly having conversations and hearing each other's perspectives. So it happens.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like you're representing your race in your interracial relationship? The answer is yes. Not like in any significant way, but some of the things I say, some of the things I do, just little stuff, little quips here and there. How I dress, I got the dad vibe going on.
Sometimes.
So yeah, I think I don't know if I understand the question in its entirety, but I think I represent my race. I think I represent it pretty well.
Yeah, I don't really understand the question either, but if I had to interpret it, it would be more so like, well, and it's, I don't know, some people can take offense to it or not, but like, black people don't do that. Or like, white people, you could say like, white people don't do that, or I don't know what that means, or we don't say that. Or if I use slang, I'm trying to like explain it to you, like, I don't know, just like, washing your legs.
With more than hot water?
With a towel, or like, going down there and really rubbing on them with some soap. Like, I feel like that's me representing my race. Black folks clean their legs and they clean the bottom of their feet. Stuff like that. Like, that's when I feel like I'm representing my race. Or can I tell?
You're rubbing off on me because
yeah,
I clean myself a lot more than I used to.
He showers a lot more. He's not.
Hey, here's the bus.
He's not dirty. Like, you smell so good all the time, dude. Like, I'm just saying, like, that's when I feel like I'm representing my race. Is when I'm like, you didn't shower yesterday. You're not trying to shower again. Like, why you doing me like? I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. Is that not the representing your race?
I did not expect this question to evolve into this.
We put seasoning in the flour, the breadcrumbs, and we season the meat.
Hey, all right. Look, next question.
All right.
That was white of me.
I say that.
I'm representing my race.
What's the weirdest or most inappropriate thing someone has said to you as a couple?
You can go first.
Well, recently we had an experience on a vacation that we took, and me and Jamie are just sitting on a bench minding our business. And this older lady, she was white, right?
She was white or Spanish?
No, she was white because she called her husband. She's like, I'm married to a Mexican, and she's
that's
comparing
right.
herself to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, this older white lady came to us and she said her kidneys hurt, so she needed to sit down on the bench.
So I got up for her.
Yeah, he got up for her, let her sit down next to me. She proceeded to say, "Oh, you're such a beautiful couple." And she's like, she's like, I'm married to a Mexican. And she basically went on to explain the similarities between herself and black women. And she basically said, I'm a black, or she's like, something like she was a black woman with no ass, or she said something along the lines of she's a black woman with no butt. And she very much has the demeanor of a black woman in arguments with her Mexican husband, in the fact that she don't like to argue. she stonewalls. Like if he's ripping and hollering and screaming, she's like, boy, bye.
And sleep on the couch.
And she, I'm
honestly,
like,
I lost track of.
I lost track of what she was saying, but like we've had other experiences.
Yeah. I'll say the ones that come to mind for me were on the cruise. I can't remember exactly what he said, but I was wearing my Steelers stuff. She was wearing the Ravens stuff, and he said something.
He said, mix don't match or something, or mix. He said something.
Oh, he said y'all don't mix well.
Y'all don't mix. Yeah. He was like, y'all don't mix well, and he was talking about the jersey, but like it was like you can't say that. You can't say that, sir.
And then there was the dude at the store in the mall who said something similar. He's basically like, what are y'all?
You hear that?
Yeah, we gotta put over to
This dog is feeling some extreme
Raven
FOMO.
And then there was a guy at the mall who said something similar. Like we walked in, my Steelers hat, her Ravens hat. He was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, but it wasn't geared towards our race. But like initially we were like, what'd you say?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all the experiences we've had with that. Do you feel like people stare or make assumptions about your relationship?
Do people stare?
People stare, absolutely. But I don't think, from my experience, the majority of people who stare are like, the amount of times we get we're a cute couple is crazy. But I do think there's that small percentage of people who are like, she with a white man?
I feel like I recognize that more than anything.
Really?
I mean, yeah, we get lots of compliments,
Well,
but I feel like so many people, like, they see you and then they realize that I'm with you. Or another instance from this cruise when the deckhand, she was like 10 feet in front of me, and this man literally walked by her, turned around with a rubberneck, and I was like, bruh.
I think he's just getting a healthy dose of what it's like being with a black woman who's overly sexualized and has more of a figure. No, I'm serious. Like that's I definitely think black women are very sexualized, and it's something that I'm probably more used to than.
It's because you got a butt.
It's something I'm more used to than you than you're used to dealing with. No offense. But I will say, like, yeah, I think maybe he may see it more the negatives because I don't pay attention. So
yeah, she's good at drowning out the noise.
Yeah.
What's a cultural tradition or practice that you have embraced about your significant other? I'll go first if you want.
You go first.
I am embracing the hell out of fried food. Oh my god. The chicken parm, the pork chops, the chicken tenders. Oh, I love the fried food. And so does my dad bod.
What's funny is I didn't think I made that much fried food, and I didn't. And I will say, the only reason I make so much fried food is because you're a picky eater, and my fried foods are the only things that you like. I would make grilled salmon and like stuff like that more often, or shrimp Alfredo if you ate it. Those are in my rotation. Fried foods were not in my rotation before you.
Well, they are now.
So that's all I'm gonna say. Okay, well then I'll say like I like hamburgers.
I don't make no damn hamburgers.
You do make hamburgers. You make burgers.
Absolutely not. I make cheeseburgers.
Whatever. He makes cheeseburgers.
I make anything on the grill.
Yeah, he's a griller.
That's what I do.
Black people, they like to, cook shit till it's like extra dead. And, he's really good at grilling some stuff, so.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know if that's like a cultural thing, but we basically talked about food, so you're welcome.
Oh, you don't want to mention that white people don't have culture?
I was gonna not. Look, when we were previewing these questions, it was like, what's a culture thing? And I'm like, what's your culture?
She was trying to get hurt.
I was just like,
Oh yeah, white people don't have culture.
I mean, like when you say black, a white person gets invited to the cookout. Cookouts are part of our culture. What's yours?
Cornhole. Grills.
Okay.
Now you make me look bad. We're cutting all this out.
No, we're not.
All right. If you have or want to
have kids, how do you plan to talk to them about their racial identity? I'm gonna let you go first.
I mean, I'm very much like, we've had conversations. Like, I want my kids to know that they're biracial. I want them to know that they're mixed. I want them to know that they are black and white, because I do feel like there are a lot of external pressures from society to identify as one. And even if they look like one over the other, or they're leaning more towards black, or they're leaning more towards white looking, like, I just want my kids to know that they don't have to conform to what society has to say, and they can identify as a biracial person. Kids have questions naturally, so if, you know, our kid has a question about who they are, what they are, I'm just gonna be honest, you're black and white, and that's it.
And you don't have to be one or the other.
You don't have to choose, you don't have to identify with one more, you are both.
I don't think I really have to expand on that.
Okay. How do you feel about your child potentially identifying with one side more than the other as far as race?
To kind of circle back on the last question, although we talked about our children, encouraging them to identify with both and giving them that freedom. I do think it's pretty natural for mixed kids, especially between black and white, to identify as black. And I think that's mostly because of societal norms, which, you can fight it all you want, but sometimes it just happens. So I'm pretty prepared for my child with you to identify as more black than white. And like all of the people I know that are from mixed families, like I feel like they almost exclusively identify as black.
That's funny because I have like my cousin, she's half black, half white, her dad's white, my aunt's black. And she very much could be white passing, and she very much identifies more with her white side. So yeah, it's like growing up on the West Coast, being light skinned was a thing, and identifying as it was weird. Being a black person, or if you were mixed, they would say they were black first. I think, going back to the question, I would not handle it well. I would be pretty upset, and I would do my best to instill in them that you are not one, you are both. You are not light-skinned, you are mixed, you are biracial, you are not black only, you are not white only. But if they did come to me and like, I feel more comfortable saying this, then I would just have to accept that. So, do we feel pressure in preparing our future biracial children for navigating identity in the world?
So, having already been a dad, I personally, I take the stance that preparing your children for the world and all of the adversity they will face is a very important prospect. Whether it be, bullies at school, whether it be the challenges of grades and just navigating social life altogether, yes, I feel the pressure of that. It is probably my number one job as dad in any aspect to prepare my child for the world, because at the end of the day, you can't protect your loved ones from this world. All you can do is prepare them and support them as they go through it. So 100%, I feel some pressure, and that's my number one job, to make sure they're ready for that.
Yeah, I think as a black woman who, I want to have boys, we'll see, but when I envision myself being a mom, I think about me having sons, and I specifically think about them being half black. If they are more black presenting, I worry, and I think that's something that I will have to work on, because I can very much see myself being you can't do that. you have to present yourself this way, or honestly, like, there's just so many worries in my mind having Black kids. So I do feel the pressure. I'm going to try to mitigate some of that pressure on myself and just hope that my kids don't get in any type of scary situation, and that they're going to make the best decision in the moment for themselves, and hope that whatever I teach them and whatever I tell them, they take with them and adhere to it.
Why did we choose to put our relationship in the public eye?
Because we're fucking fun. No, I think it's just, one, we both have very strenuous, serious jobs, and we live the typical hardworking, like, I won't say boring, but for lack of a better word, boring life.
What's boring about our life?
I think we work 9 to 5. Like, I just think we want to try something new. We have great conversations, great debates. We're always doing something. Like, I think we know that what we can produce is entertaining. We know the niche that we're in is something that people are interested in.
For me, being in front of a camera was never something that like I envisioned. I will say, like, the idea was introduced and I was a little bit hesitant, but based on like my experience with you, like, we have a unique experience. We have a unique chemistry, and I've been in plenty of relationships. Obviously, I have a history. I got a couple kids. I just knew that we had something special, and so because of that, like, I was willing to put it out there. I think everybody deserves something special, and if you can, like, if our vibe translates through that camera, then I think I've done some good in the world, because everybody should strive for this. Everybody. So that's why I was like open to putting ourselves on camera. And
well, if we can go for hours talking about relationships and love and settling and happiness, and like, I think more people should wait for their person.
Absolutely. Like, I never in my life have I been so sure. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not like a soulmate person.
I am.
I wasn't,
Well,
and now I am.
yeah.
So, yeah. Find your person.
Find your person.
All right.
All right, what was the topic? Have you ever received hate or criticism online due to your interracial relationship?
Not yet. We're just waiting for it.
We'll see after this video.
They go cancel me for fried food.
Maybe.
All right. So now we're gonna transition into some more, a little less serious, more fun.
Yeah.
Because we like to have fun.
Yeah. Rapid fire fun.
All right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
What's one culture shock?
Don't read it.
No, I'm good.
No.
It's rapid fire. We're okay to read now.
Okay.
People are probably not even watching anymore.
All right. Start.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
What's one culture shock moment you had early in the relationship?
I feel like for me, like, I can't even like speak on this because I've been with white men. Y'all the same.
Damn.
Y'all showering. Y'all.
I'm not the same.
seasoning.
I'm not the same.
No, you're not. You're different, babe. Like, in other aspects. But the showering habits, the non-washcloths, the seasoning, like, all that stuff. The no condiments. I don't know if that's a white man thing, but they don't like condiments. Like, that's.
I don't think that's a normal white man thing. That is
Well,
definitely me and maybe the previous people who did, but I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I said. I was like, it's not all, I think.
I will say, I've never been around so much scent in my life. You always smell good. The house always smells good. Whether it's lotion, candles, showers,
Body wash,
always with a
perfume.
scent. You know how I smell like 7 different ways these days. I literally used to have one shampoo and body wash, and now I got all of them.
Can your partner do a decent impression of your family or friends?
Absolutely. I can do a bang up job on this, but I'm not gonna, because I'm not getting canceled today.
We're not doing that. Absolutely.
Have you ever had to explain seasoning?
explain. You know what? I will say, in the beginning of our relationship, most of our debates, arguments, misunderstandings were around seasoning things. Like the steak one we had.
I was ready to fight her over some steak.
We were like literally upset over steak. You want to explain?
Yeah, I do. I was about to grill some steaks, and this woman said, okay, that's fine, but I'm seasoning them. And I said, no, you're not. If they're going on the grill, I'm seasoning them. And she's like, no, like they're... I can't, I still to this day can't fathom how you thought that was acceptable. If I put something on the grill, then I am doing it start to finish. Period. So anyway, I think you seasoned one and I seasoned one.
It was like a whole like silent treatment.
I was real mad about that. Like, you are not about to overtake my grill.
I think early on in the relationship, you didn't necessarily display the seasoning capabilities that I knew were in you. And that's why we were always having our bickering moments.
You knew were in me. You didn't even give me a chance. You had
I
no
didn't
faith.
know it at the time.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Misworded.
Also, you had no faith in my seasoning abilities.
No,
either.
I did. My whole objection was, I'm grilling food. I'm grilling food, not you.
Okay.
I'm seasoning that joint.
Okay. Seasoning's a big topic in our household. We're on the same page.
Clearly, I didn't have to explain seasoning to her.
No.
All right. What's one thing your family said that made your partner go, huh?
There's been a conversation I've had with someone in your family, and I'm like, you gotta talk about this? Why you say that? But that's all I'm gonna say. And I think you've had that same,
I will say, the one time that I walked into your parents' house and your mom was like, I could see you walking up on the Ring camera and your belly was looking real out there. Wild.
My family has no, I will say.
No filter.
My family has no filter. They clown on you, they rag on you.
Another good example where I was a little taken back. Your mom was like, this. And I was like, me? Who, me? No way. I'm almost a little bit honored that I'm like in the crowd. Like, that's cool.
You part of the club? No, like, I will say my family has no filter, so he's probably taken back by a lot of things. And I told him when my mom made the comment about seeing his stomach on the camera walking up, I said, say something back. He's like, I'm not gonna say
I would never.
I said, she talking about you, talk about her back. She can't dish it, or she can't take it, she can't dish it.
No, I'm not gonna talk bad about your mom, and you know what? I lost 7 pounds because of that moment.
And she noticed. She said the other day.
She did.
She's like, your stomach's getting smaller.
Yeah,
You should
she
have said,
did
yours
notice.
isn't. No, I'm just kidding. Hers is getting smaller. She working out.
Oh. All right. This is a great one. Do you ever switch cultural roles? Like, she grills the meat and I cook the collard greens.
He ain't cooking. I don't let nobody cook my collard greens.
It ain't no damn way anybody getting on my grill.
No. I'm not touching his grill. He better not ask me to touch his grill. And I don't let anybody touch my collard greens, so he's not touching my collard
I
greens.
don't even let you clean my grill.
That's fine. So, we're good there. No, we don't switch roles.
All right. Who dances better and who thinks they dance better?
So, I don't dance. That's not a thing for me. I do a little, cute girl bop.
You got a
I make a little shape here and there. Show out a little bit. This month,
I dance.
He dances. And, the
to
wobble.
a couple songs.
Okay.
Just to be fair.
He dances.
And I dance better because...
He doesn't dance better than me.
All right, now is the time for you to go watch my Wobble compilation montage.
Someone already commented on it, like, oh, he can't dance, but I showed you the comment in bed one day. Where she was,
They said I can't dance?
Did they not see me on the cruise? That was my best wobble ever. It was the best one.
But to like
on the internet, maybe.
even when we were on the cruise, my cousins were like, he can't dance, but he doing the dance. Like, you can't, babe. You just got white people rhythm.
I'm gonna take a deep breath. Some bullshit.
But he be dancing, and we love that for him. So it's fine. I don't dance. You could say he's the better dancer because I don't dance.
All right. Who would survive longer at each other's family cookout?
Jamie would last longer at my family cookout.
I wholeheartedly disagree.
I think it's because everyone's chill. Look, not saying your family isn't chill, but like, no one in my family has a filter. Everything's super like relaxed. I feel like sometimes
I feel like you're supporting my cause right now.
I have to put on. I feel like I have to be on my best behavior. I feel like with your family, my family, they know all the shit. They don't care. You white boy.
Okay, so you go to my family cookout. You got to put on your best behavior. What do you think I'm feeling? I'm
You
the
don't
white
need to
boy.
do that.
I'm the white boy.
But you just said my family doesn't have a filter. They're cool. They be talking shit. You do that
You
because
literally told me I'm gonna be referred to as white boy.
Yeah. That's endearing.
That's not endearing. Oh my god.
All right. Well, we're I don't know. We're just gonna agree to disagree on that.
I'm definitely not surviving longer.
I'm not either. So we're gonna fake it till we make it and survive the day together.
Hell yeah. Teamwork. All right, who is more likely to call the manager, or who is more likely to go off on the manager? Put both hands up because you are.
He's so non-confrontational. I'm like, you got attitude? All right, I'm not dealing with you. You messed up my order, and then you got attitude on top of it? I don't want you anymore. Fix it.
I'll be like, yeah, it's busy.
He's like, it's fine, babe. She's stressed. I enjoy that quality in you. But sometimes people be trying it. So, it's me.
All right, when did you realize your partner was very black, or in my case, very white?
We were at the dollar store and you said, God bless America. Out of frustration. He was like, God bless America. And I said it to you. I was like, that was very white of you. I've never heard anybody say, and he says that now. When he's frustrated, when he's like excited, God bless America. And yeah, that's when I realized you were white. So, or not when I realized, but that was very white of you. Me?
All right. I realized how black you were when you were on the phone with, or talking to, or with, in person, your cousins. Because I remember I never heard you say the N-word. I never heard you, I don't know, you a whole other you with your cousins.
Yeah, that's true.
And I liked it. I like that version of you. It's fun. It's
different.
It's definitely different.
Spicy. Yeah. You're not the first person to say that. I guess I changed it up. My family's from South Carolina, Jersey, so I grew up in California, so maybe I code switched it up a little bit when I'm talking to them. It's hard not to. It's like a natural thing. So.
Well, one other time where I realized you were black.
Not when you realized I was black. When
you black.
What?
Your cute little
my
head wrap.
Scarf?
Your scarf.
Head wrap.
Yeah.
I have locks. I got locks because I don't like taking care of my hair. Some people argue you should tie your hair up with locks. I don't. And recently, I just started wearing my scarf because I was like, my hair looks better longer if I wear my scarf versus if I go 3 weeks without a retie. It's frizzy. So I started wearing my scarf more.
And I love that shit. The one in particular I really love. Like, it's it is so cute.
But yeah, so I didn't want to wear my scarf because I hate wearing my scarf. And now I'm wearing it. So yes, that means you realize that.
That's beautiful.
Is that all the questions?
That's it. That's the end of the list.
All right. Well, that was fun.
I hope you guys had fun.
Yeah, I
I
hope
know
you
we
had
had
fun
fun.
watching it. Hope you got to know us a little better. If you have more questions, let us know. If you're in your own interracial relationship and you have an experience you want to share, comment below. Yeah.
This is that time when I say, like, click, and subscribe. But what I really mean is like, comment, and subscribe. I'm getting it down.
Like, comment, subscribe. Look, we're here for the long run. So if you're here watching this video, you might as well subscribe because there's more coming.
And you definitely should ask a question because
Ask a
we're gonna
question.
answer them.
Maybe our next video in the future, not our next video, will be in-depth how we met. So we'll see.
It's coming someday.
We'll see.
It ain't gonna be the next video, but someday.
If you've stuck around this long, thank you for watching our video. We hope to see you at the next one. Bye.
See y'all later.